Hello, welcome to Non-Dual Christianity. In this video, I want to talk about the purpose of life, and that the only purpose could actually be play. That God's purpose of creating, and then ultimately people's purpose for existing, can only be play. I'll put some of the biblical evidence of this, verses, in the description of the video, but I'll talk about why I say that, and then I want to talk about some implications. So why do I say that? First, God is completely free and independent. There's nothing outside factor, force, compulsion, which would require God to do anything. So creation then has to be a free act. It has to be something that God simply wants to do. It can't be something that's required or adding to God in some way. Why can't it be adding to God? Well, God is also unchanging in essence. So it's not like there can be something gained or lost ultimately for God. Therefore, whatever the purpose of creation is, it's not to add, and it cannot remove something from God. I would think most Christians would say that God ultimately created to show his glory and to delight in creation. So God's characteristics, God's presence can be seen in creation, and there's a delight in simply that experience. So that delighting in creation is what I'm calling play. And I'm using the word play because delight might mean that things have to be pleasant. And play has more the connotation of there's no bigger purpose than just simply the experience of the thing, of simply the enjoyment of the thing. So that's why I say God's only purpose can be for the play, for the experience of creation. So how could people be different? How could people have a different purpose? Even if you were to say that people's goal is to glorify God, to delight in him and creation, how do we do that, right? How do we delight? Well, we delight by being present. We delight by being present and engage with moment by moment, whatever is in front of us, whatever is within us. That's how we do that. And so from that perspective, even if you don't go all the way into non-duality, which would affirm that your essence is the divine essence, therefore the purposes must be the same. What other purpose could there be than engaging with creation and experiencing God in each moment? So it's about being present simply for the purpose of the presence and the experience of that moment. I think probably one of the mental errors we make is that we somehow assume that parts of creation don't fall under this play, that we prejudge some things as good or evil, and we exclude the evil from the play. We assume that the evil part is somehow broken. And yet, what if the full range of creation, as it stands right now today, is all part of the divine play? What if it is all part of it? How would that change things? See, when we operate from our ego mind identity, from our limited identity, we get confused. And we start to believe that perhaps life's purpose is to get to God, to overcome some felt separation, to be saved, or to avoid something. We, regardless of what stance we take, whether it's to try to add something that's missing or to avoid, get rid of something that we feel like is wrong with us, we tend to believe that the point is this gaining or achieving something instead of play. I'd say kind of from even a different lens, a support of the idea of everything is for the purpose of play is what I know about existential philosophy. That kind of comes to the point where you realize the meaninglessness of life, the inherent meaninglessness of purpose in life. And when you look into that void, people either tend to despair or they tend to try to pull away from it and affirm some kind of a purpose in life, like the progress of humanity or something like that. But I think what that does is it's looking at the exact same thing, and it's realizing that everything is equal. Whether you call everything meaningless or whether you call everything meaningful, it's this great equalizing, because there can be no inherent better or worse to an activity. Even Ecclesiastes recognizes this and affirms the vapor nature, the chasing after the wind, that you cannot ultimately gain something in life, right? So this equalizing. The beauty is that if everything is truly play, then even if you are in the middle right now of this mistaken purpose of trying to strive after something, to gain something that you don't feel like you have, even that is play. See, the play holds all of it. Your divine essence holds all of it. And that's where I'll transition here into, so what does this mean? One thing I'd say it means is that whatever you do is fine. That there's no better or worse purpose in life. There can't be. There's simply the experience and the pursuit of what it is that you want. There might be things that are more effective or less effective, or perhaps there's some wants that you would change once you realize them. But from a cosmic value ranking, nothing can be a greater or worse purpose. It's just for the play of it all. Second, there can't be any wasting in your life. And these are both really difficult for me to believe, because inherent to my thinking is this ranking system of purposes. But if there can't be wasting, then I can also relax, because it's not like whatever I'm in the middle of now is somehow worse or less valuable than anything else from a purpose perspective. At best, maybe you could say that you are either living with awareness and presence or not. But even I think that is a little bit mistaken, because even if your ego mind is trying to escape reality, I'm thinking of somebody who might be using alcohol or drugs or something heavily to try to escape. So even if your ego mind is unaware or not present or checked out, your divine essence is always aware. So even in that, your divine essence is experiencing the play of that pursuit in life. So ultimately, everything is your play. Can you delight in the spectrum of it? Can you delight in the story of it? Even the things which are not pleasant. And to realize that even something like death is not the end. That there's resurrection. So this is just all for the experience, and it's all for the enjoyment and the interaction of the creating and the acting as well. This is not a passive, well, if everything's meaningless, I'll just sit here and not do anything, because we can create and we can react and we can act with the creation around us. So this is a very active attitude, even as we can rest in the fact that it's all for the play of it. It's all ultimately meaningless. So what I would say is rest, because you are already what you seek. If you think that you can gain or achieve something in life, you are already what you seek. Pretending otherwise is just part of your current play, if that's what you're doing. So in that freedom, what do you want to play? Thank you for exploring this with me today.